Saturday Morning Forge, officially sponsored by Circle K. Actually, it's not. That might have been illegal. Don't say that. I didn't do that. Just getting started here. We've got a few more minutes before we start cracking away here. All right. You see this right here, I wonder. You can barely see it. We'd like to thank Massonomics for the drink cup holder. Not for its intended purpose, but I'll send a link to them. If you're working out in a rigger rack, you want Massonomics. That's what you want. Let's see. Just letting the forge warm up here, so. A little cool in the shop today, too. All right. Cheap Harbor Freight. They work, but, you know, every once in a while it's coming loose. So one of the next purchases is going to be a nice rounding hammer that I don't have to worry about it just flying off. All right, I'll try and do a Texas showing love. Hey, thanks, Texas. Minnesota here. Name a muscle car for an edit? Man, I don't even know. Not Tesla, right? Okay, so thanks for US flag pole guy. Yeah, so it actually, yes. So here in my forge, it is on the left. This is the trouble with the way I'm shooting the video. It's wrong. And so my apology. I wonder for the lies. Maybe I should somehow probably mirror that because it is a thing, right? But I appreciate that. Thank you. I think maybe I'll try and figure that out in the, see, I also use another video or another camera as well. That one's pointing the correct way. So it is going to show that the flag is right. So I don't know, but I want the flag up. Maybe I should just, I can't really turn it the other way. I'll still be backwards. So if he was right, the camera flips the flag, bro. Chains News, hello. Greetings from Brazil, hello. Man alive. What time is it in Brazil? Man alive. All right. It's about that time. So make sure I still can see everything. tilt that back a little bit more. If you saw the way. Yep, looks like I need my. All right, that should be good. All right, we'll get rolling. All right, so today, finally have about everything I need. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Got a new microphone, thanks to the wifey. So what we're doing today is we're gonna grab all my stuff, come back up here. All right, so the goal this year, I have a full-time job for those of you who've never tuned in before, but I'm a fabricator, mostly do metal work, do a lot of woodworking as well, and always wanted to try some blacksmithing, and so that's what I've been doing this last year, and I have a few different goals. I want to stay on the blacksmithing side. I want to do tool making, making just honing just small skills. So today we're just making hooks. We have a farmer's market in our town in the summer fall, and so my goal is to make. I got hundreds of feet of 3/8 by 3/8 rounds. So that's this right here, just hot roll. I have 3 different lengths I'll be doing today. I have some pieces at 4 inches, pieces at 6 inches, and pieces at 8 inches. We're gonna do the small hooks. That's 4 inches. We're gonna draw it out to 5.5 with a smaller radius, and then we're gonna have the larger hook. That's at 6-inch pieces, which will get drawn out to 7.5 inches, and then flipped up. But yeah, and then I don't have we're gonna make an S hook as well. I don't have that. My wife is using it for her plants, so that's what it's for. So we're gonna the goal today is to see how many I can bust out in this hour. You're looking on Etsy, it's like, what are people selling them for? How sophisticated it's just a hook, but I mean, what kind of details are they adding to the hooks? So all of mine, I like the twist. It's kind of fun having the twist. So we're gonna have the twist. I'm gonna keep them square, so I'll soften up the edges, but I'm not gonna round off the hook end. I'm not gonna round that off, just so it's kind of soft. And I have a bending tool, which when we get to the part where we start the bends, for the hook, I want them all consistent, so I made a little jig to do that. And I just realized I'm yelling for the forge, but I have the microphone, so I'm sorry for my yelling. My wife always just kind of always saying hello to me. Sorry, somebody, good morning. 9:00 a.m. Oh. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Duh. All right, 9:00 a.m., 7 a.m. here. So, all right. American Blacksmith, it's cool. It is cool. It's very cool. It's like our steel's about ready to go. I'll talk a little bit as I'm just going through the process. But like I said, the goal today is to see how many I can do in an hour so I can start getting an idea of price in my mind. Hooks like this, 3/8 steel, I mean, for the hooks are about maybe 12 to 16 bucks I saw on Etsy. And so maybe around there, I want to do maybe like a $10 hook, $12 to $14 hook. The S hook will probably be like $20, $24. But that'll help me when I figure out how many of these can I pump out an hour. Steel in the US right now, we have a company down the road we use. So for 5 20-foot lengths of 3/8 hot roll square, it was 40 bucks, 42 bucks for 100 feet. My propane I'm running is a 40-pound tank. It's about 40 bucks to fill. And I think I don't know, I really don't have an idea of how many of these I can get. Cutting it, piece of cake, goes super quick. The biggest part is just all the steps, which we'll go through the steps, but just real quick. First, we're going to draw out a taper. Then we're going to draw the small little hook. And then we're going to put it in the jig. We're going to do the full hook. We're going to then do the twist. And then we're going to punch out the eye or stamp the eye. So those are all going to cool. I don't think I'll do any of the drilling today. I'll drill them all later when they're all cooled down. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Looks like the steel's ready to go. We'll get rolling. Make sure there's one problem with Japan, a lack of aiming. Yeah, Cutlery industry. Yeah, so I have a buddy who's a knife smith, and so we chat every week. And so our worlds are a little bit different. Minnesota, California, knife smith, blacksmith. He's far ahead of my game. He does really good work. But yeah, we like to chat about, and I have more questions for him than anything. But all right, let's get rolling. All right, that's what we're looking to do right there. Got my taper. Now I'm going for 7.5 inches. It starts at 6. So I got another anvil here. I got them all marked off on my links. Just realized I'm yelling again. Much apologies, and I'm probably breathing really hard because I'm out of shape. But so we're close. So in one quick treat, I got all but a 1/2 inch left. So that's pretty good. But can he do it twice? That's the question. All right, 3. Yeah, so on that first treat, I was able to get it out a full inch. So I just have a ½ inch to go. Really no magic number there. I didn't want a very thin taper. I wanted it to be just a little bit thicker. So those are heating back up. We'll check what anyone else knows. Southern Minnesota. That's where I'm at. So I feel like this is pretty good. I've seen some where they have a really stubby kind of hook, and there's some that they're almost so thin. Even like this one might even be a little bit thin. You know, what will people use for them? I don't know. That's why it'll be fun to go to the farmers market to have a lot of this stuff out. I'm gonna set up some boards with coat racks, a coat rack, a hat rack kind of thing. The smaller ones would probably be like a keychain or maybe like some kind of jewelry or something like that. So it'll be interesting to hear what people see, what they like, and what we can get set up and how we can display it. But I wanted a nice, this is about, actually let me see here. Where's my little, so the diameter I have on here, it's almost 2 inches. There we go, about a 2-inch diameter. So it's a pretty good size hook. I like just, there's a lot online have a real short diameter, and I don't know, it'd be nice to have something that kind of, I mean, you want it on the wall, you want to be able to just comfortably throw something right onto it. So, you know, 1 second here, I gotta. All right, so I can something on the camera. So yeah, that's where we're at. All right, so this next treat, we want to get it to the 7.5, soften up those edges, and then I'll be ready for the little curl on the end. So here we go. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's kind of get this cleaned up here now. Another important thing too is you're not hitting different parts of the anvil. You want to be moving your steel back and forth and just focusing on that one spot. Something I didn't learn until later. So it's your tip of the day. Let's go ahead and soften up those edges. Make sure we're straight. A little bit there. All right, so there we go. So there's our 7.5 inches drawn out taper. So pop that back in, go to the next one. Sweet. Get that one cleaned up. Soften those corners here. Make sure we're straight. Sweet. We got to talk about something, right? What kind of professions we got out there viewing in? I'm a machinist, fabricator by trade. What's everybody else do? I'll check the channel a little bit. All right, let's get that cleaned up. Sweet. All right, let's check our channel here. Trades, what kind of trades we got? Nice. ASMR, hey, you got it. Nobody wants to let us know what kind of work do we do. Anybody else in the trades out there? I've been in a factory my whole life. So I'm 43 now. Dad got me in my brother and I in the factory when we were pretty young, doing part work. And so just a lot of these little jobs where it had handle parts that we're just putting together and got paid by the part like 5 cents or something like that. We also had to make hardware packs. And so good story about hardware packs. So it's basically taking these nuts and bolts and washers. And we sit across from each other, my brother and I, we're like a year apart. And we were 11 and, no, we were in junior, we'd have been in junior high or something like that. And we'd always annoy each other, or I'd annoy him. He's my younger brother. And so we're building these packets, hundreds and hundreds of packets, thousands of pieces of hardware. And I don't know why, but we'd throw hardware back and forth. So one time I take this little bolt and I flick it right at his face, and it knocked out his two front teeth like this. And he had to go to school the next day. And I feel bad about it today because I think it's been a lot. He's broken it like 7 more times since then. But and it cost me like $150. Well, we had to split it, which seems crazy in the day that the dental work only cost $150 to repair those two front teeth. But yeah, so that led my career in going into the factory, you know, and all that good stuff. But yeah, so I've been in the factory my whole life. Dad taught me how to weld. He also taught me how to make fixtures, and I went on to college to try some other stuff. But at the end of the day, I just came back to the factory. Just love working in a factory. There's a lot for me that just doesn't make sense. Computers and all that kind of stuff doesn't make any sense to me. But when we're moving steel, when we're making a project, that I like. I like figuring out what has to be done, how much can we spend, what kind of steel we using, you know, what's the end product, how do we ship it, where do we ship it to? That's what I like to do. So, all right, we're going to put some that little end curl on. For that, I'm going to switch over to my Harbor Freight, so I'll give this camera a little twist here. Let's get you spun over that way. All right. So you're not going to see me for a second here. I'll just keep talking, so I'm still here. So I have the two different anvils. I have my hay button. It's over 100 years old, and then I have a Harbor Freight. I started with the Harbor Freight. There's a lot I like about the Harbor Freight. It's got nice, sharp corners. It's really cheap, and it hasn't. I've welded on the thing and it hasn't broken yet. My hay button, the corners are a little more rounded than I like, but I don't want to touch it. I don't want to face it off. I want to leave it as is. So some things I go back to the Harbor Freight for. Most of my work is done right here on the hay button. So I'm going to grab a smaller hammer as well here. Probably keep cleaning this off as I go. Get you there. Just going to wrap that around. Yeah, that'll do. So we come back to the camera. We got a nice curl there. Which the other thing I need to check, I'm going to keep spinning you a little bit more. There's my vise. I got to check my jig, make sure that's going to work. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good in the hood, as they say. All right, so we'll pop that back in, grab another one. Hope I can get all these done. I got to be done in 30 minutes. See if that matches. Maybe curls in just a little bit more. There we go. That'll do. Just make sure it works here. Oh, yeah. So I'm doing a lot of talking when I'm making these, but I can't remember. I think we've been going for about 20, 25 minutes as far as the actual time on this. I think if I'm moving, I could probably do 2 batches in an hour. At least that's what I want to try and shoot for. Get you all centered up right nice. Perfect. All right, so next part's gonna be a little tricky. So I think I'm gonna drink coffee. All right. Try another set of tongs here. And I think I ought to probably move the camera. So this is going to be the trickiest part. Moving all this around. So, okay, bear with me here. Let's see if we can do this without tipping everything over. I'm just going to unplug. Let's come around here. You can see the back of my shop. All right. Perfect. All right, here we go. All right. Hey, Ken, how's it going? Peace. The hay button's doing work today. My father-in-law just tuned in, who I got the anvil from, is his dad's. Okay, make sure. So what I'm doing is I got a little jig made here. I got the diameter of the hook I want. I got this arm here. This is just gonna, we'll get my piece of steel in. We'll drop that down. We're gonna walk that around. Call it a day. So important to have all your work set up how you want it. The other thing we got to do, I'll put the cup right here. It's super satisfying. What's up, Squiggles? Peace. All right. All right, so here we go. We're going to walk this over. Ooh, we're going to cool that off. Super satisfying. We're going to hold that right there. Get that in. Walk that around. Hopefully this works. Till it stops. Pop this out. And we should have a nice hook. There you go. Now, I am sure, I don't know if there's any blacksmiths in the channel here, but some would say, oh, you know, you're not doing everything start to finish, or however, like, totally get it. These are hooks that I want. People are going to buy multiple at a time. I want to make sure they look nice, they match nice, all that good stuff. So that's kind of why we're doing it the way we're doing it today. So you're going to kind of see me out of frame. Let me go grab another one, clean this one off a little bit. Yeah, so the next thing I got to do too, order of operations. Oop, I got to probably straighten that out too. Give me a minute here. We can do that later too, so I'll just leave that. But we're going to do the twist next, so I'm going to want to reverse this, put it back into the forge backwards. Grab my next piece here. Okay, ready? Satisfying. Let's dip. Oh man, isn't that just the greatest thing in the world? Special thanks to MSB for a wonderful crowler to help me keep all my stuff running. All the way to my stop. Hold it for a second. Pop you off. And that's hook number 2 right there. I don't know if anything gets much more satisfying than that. Give you a little brush. Oop. Turn her around. Put it back in the forge. Grab another one. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? I mean, seriously, how awesome is that, huh? Go around. Go to the stop. All right, there we go. Hook number 3. Clean that up a little bit. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost got away from me there. Yes, they're all a little kitty wampus on something, so we're going to straighten those out in the end. So, I just remembered I got to turn you around here. All right, I'm back. So the next part here, we'll maybe go a little bit like this. I don't know if you can see you can't quite see the forge. That's fine. Cool these off. Yeah. All right, so I'm done with this. I learned from past mistakes, it's probably hot. So let's just go like that. Put this back together here. So now what we're gonna do is I have my fancy jig right here, my twist jig. Get that about where I want it. And so I'm gonna put, I think, a full twist. So I'm gonna go forward, get it wrapped all the way around. Yeah, I gotta be careful too because I need to, I gotta pinch the hook just right. I gotta put this just on right so we have enough room to put in the eyelet. Just again, for everyone tuning in late, that's what we're making right there. That's what we want to go for. So right now we're gonna go ahead and do our twist. Okay, let's see. I think I got everything ready. I'm gonna disappear out of frame here and find my this. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and pinch right onto that. I'm gonna face this way. Go down the width of it. We're gonna go ahead and twist you all the way around. Make sure we're straight up above. Loosen you up. Then I got to remember kind of where I'm pinching this thing so they all are uniform. So yeah, that goes to the bottom. Okay, so grab my, surprisingly, I've never grabbed one of these hooks yet. All right, here, let me get that cleaned up and we'll take a look. All right, so here's what we got. There's our beautiful twist. Last thing we got to do is just punch that eye. And yeah, and I think I got about how I want it to. I marked it on the anvil on how far because I want to have a consistent eyelet as well for all these. So I think if I can get it pinched just right, it should kind of leave a natural mark on where we want to do that. So let's put that in, grab another one here. Go to the bottom. Go ahead and give us the spin all the way around. Get it nice and straight. You know, while I'm doing this, well, still gotta, I was like, I could probably start straightening this now, but we'll do that later. We'll easier when we're all done. This cleaned up. All right. All right, hook number 3. Get that cleaned up, throw it back in the forge here. Okay, okay, start putting some of this stuff away. That can stay there. Let's get you moved back and plugged in. So, all right. See how we're doing here. Forge. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the Harbor Freight. So we'll go right over that way so you can see a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to be right here. How does that look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So let's see here. Last step we got to do, well, as far as the forge goes, is just punch that eyelet and then get them all straightened up. So, all right, let's grab a set of tongs. I want to use bigger mallet. All right, let's grab a. All right, we want to be careful to set on the edge just where we want it. Do one quick blow. All right, walk up here. That's all we're looking for right there. I like them a little thicker in case somebody wants to do like a chamfered screw, so it's a nice flush fit. I take regular wood screws for mine. I like the flathead ones, and so I think it's kind of a button head, so it looks kind of nice with these. So I'm just going to toss that back in the forge so we can get it straightened out, and that's done. Spun around here. Toss you back in, grab another one. Obviously super important to smash the right way because it wouldn't work otherwise. So we'll start there. All right, another one down. Oh yeah, we're gonna turn that around. Let's turn that around. All right. Better grip to the edge there. There we go. Sweet. So now what I think I'll do is, we're just kind of going back and forth today. That's fine. I'm going to bring you back over to my table. Oh. Grab it the other way. All right. So let's grab you back here. We'll do our final steps. All right, just like so. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a hook. We'll get her straightened up. I gotta grab some of my tools. I got a little needle nose, got a pliers, just for a couple things to get it straight while she's hot. So pinch all that nice and straight. That's kind of peeking at my eye. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It could all be that easy, right? All right, that's good. So I think I'll take that out for now. Just leave it on the anvil. Because I want to do a cleanup, and then we're gonna put some beeswax on those to seal them. So grab another one here. All right. Just remember, boys and girls, that the vise gets really hot too. If you don't believe me, go back to my YouTube shorts and you'll see exactly how hot it is. Twist you. Don't really want to use these pliers too much because it'll be just a little, I want to leave teeth mark on there. All right, that looks good. All right, last one. All right, turn that off. Got a buddy coming over in a little bit, and we're gonna try and do some more forging, but turn that off for now so I can hear myself think a little bit. Copy. This is my last one. So this one, I think when I did the eye, it turned out a little wonky, but a little more leverage here. Oh, that's easier. Should have done that the first time. Sweet. Perfect. Okay, so let's here I can actually just move my junk. I'm just kind of, we're all just learning today, aren't we? Let's go like so. All right. Yeah, we'll work here. We got light. Let's do it that way. Gotta grab a shirt, a rag rather. Grab a rag. Just kind of clean this up. Don't drop the water there. We'll get these wiped down. If I can find my trusty. So we're just gonna get all the other junk off this here. I think I need a new wire brush as well. Hey, like and subscribe so we can buy ourselves a new wire brush, eh? All right, let's see. All right, so while I'm doing this, let's go back to that age-old question of, see, I did it again. Let's, I have nothing to put on there. Let's just, I'll turn a little bit more this way. My son's probably still watching. Yeah, he's like, hey, okay, sorry, we can go back to this. How tall am I? I don't know. Am I taller than you, Big Huddy? I don't know. I'm over 6 feet. Okay, yeah, so question before I just stuck my arm on the vise again. Hey, are there any trades out there? What kind of work you guys do while we're finishing up today? Let me know what kind of work you're in, what kind of work you like to do. What'd you grow up doing? What floats your boat? Then we can get into the whole discussion of should we follow our passion or should we find work and see if our passion finds us? Let's see here. I have my own opinion about all that. If I can just get a hold on these. There we go. All right. Anybody ready? Oil and gas. Put the rag on there. Okay. Let's see here. It's hot, and let's see. Thanks, thanks, Victor. Seems like the obvious one there. Just didn't want it to. I don't know how hot it is, so I didn't really want it to start up at all. Okay, so someone says oil and gas and aviation before that. That's legit. Are you flying planes or are you like a type of mechanic, or what kind of work did you do in aviation? And speaking of oil and gas, so I'm sure YouTube will shut me down if I can't say. I don't know what we can talk about. We can't talk about. We're watching Landman, oil and gas. Man, I don't know how much is true, but it's fun to watch and just made me think of that last night. We're only so many episodes in, but yeah, talk about people doing hard work though. My goodness. Oh, come on, turn. All right. Yeah, I think these turned out all right. Yeah, with all the, I can't remember exactly when I started. It was sometime after 7 here, and we're coming up on the hour pretty soon. And so, all reality, I think if I'm hustling, I could easily do 3 of these in a half hour, so 6 in an hour. If I sell these for, I don't know, anywhere between 12 and 16 bucks. I like to try and shoot for $60 to $80 an hour. That's good. More on the higher end. I have some consumables. Obviously, I got gas is the big one. Steel's cheap. I mean, these here. I'll show you back what we started with here. So here's what we started with today: a 6-inch piece of steel, 3/8 by 3/8 round, or 3/8 by 3/8 square. We turned it into that right there. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So steel is cheap. Like I said earlier, it was for 100 feet. It cost me like 40 bucks. We have a steel company we go through for other products, and hey, can you throw me on 100 feet or whatever, and we'll start running that out. Okay, so while that's still hot, let me grab my little piece of beeswax. So what I'm gonna do, see if these are, oh yeah, perfect. It's not, my table is pretty cold, obviously, and so it's cooling these down real nice. They're too hot, it'll start this right up on fire, and that's not great. What do we got here? Yes, sir. Pilot left at hydraulic factory in Alberta. September, I don't see so nice. Awesome. Hey, appreciate it, Victor. Thanks for tuning in today. All right, so when that's done, go ahead and just grab my really hot rag. And yeah, it's still going to be hot, so we'll just kind of go like that. So it darkens it up too. Might have liked it if it were just a little bit hotter than that, so maybe I'll quick that beeswax kind of steeps in a bit more. But after this, now when I get a bunch of these done, actually I'm going to go ahead and put that one right back up there so I can just kind of stay warm. I have another oil I use, so I'll rub that on too. I think people, when they buy these, I don't think if they keep them indoors, they're not going to rust or anything. But I like to put a couple different things on. It doesn't take any much of my time. This beeswax is super cheap, so it's not like it, just a quick little this and that, and it should be good. There we go, another one. And let's do our last one here before we tune out today. Whoa. Get that one sealed up. There's another type of oil that I think I'll have to try and find. I took some classes and they had one that adhered really well and a little better than the beeswax. But beeswax, it's so cheap. I mean, you got like a box of it for less than $5-10 or something like that. And it's just tons of those cubes. So, all right. Do you have a kill? Let's see. As far as the hooks go, yeah. So I have a forge right over there. Oh, where am I going? It's right there. So there's my forge right there. Let's see here. All right. Well, I think that's about what I'm going to do for the day. Let's kind of go back over what we did. So let's see if I can find all my stuff. Yeah. So like I said, the goal for me, this is just something for fun. I love making stuff. Every year for Christmas, my wife and I, we like to make gifts for our friends and family. And so I do a lot of woodworking and like some carving. And this last year, I really wanted to get into blacksmithing, especially when I found out that to get into is relatively inexpensive. I started with a cheap Harbor Freight anvil. That was the most expensive part. It almost matched the price of the forge, which is like $120 shipped. It's a Weaver forged. I'll try and figure out how to add all those links in. And so I wanted to do some blacksmithing. I like the idea of you can't just cut and paste these hooks and all the things. I made these tongs right here too. You can't just cut and paste that kind of stuff together. And so the idea of blacksmithing, we're actually moving that steel, pushing it around. you just have to put in the time and effort to make it work, and that's what I like. Um, Stuff like this, it's not really a whole lot of intensive labor, but it's enough where it gets me out of bed every day, and it's kind of fun to pick up some heavy stuff and and just kind of stay in shape, even though I don't sound it. But anyway, yeah. So we started with 3/8 by 3/8 hot roll, square hot roll, and we turned it into a hook like so. I just got to drill a hole, but I'm going to do all those later. I got a drill press. I could punch them, but for the sake of time, I can't. It's quite the process to heat these back up. They get deformed, and so no one's going to see how the hole looks anywhere. How oh, did you punch that? Did you? Nobody cares. And so I'm going to get a bunch of these done. We're going to go back and I'm just going to drill it. And then that's it. The hooks are done. So now I have 100 more feet. We're going to take this 8-inch pieces. We're going to turn those into a nice S hook. And then I got a nice small piece of 4-inch here. We're going to do a smaller radius there. I got a separate jig for that. Ideally, one day I'll make it with the pins that remove. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you next Saturday at 7, Saturday Morning Forge. Yeah, interested to hear any more of your questions. And yeah, cool setup. Good luck, happy hand. Oh yeah. So I don't have the other place I was at. We had a CNC, 5-axis CNC, and that's a lot of fun. Now I do have a Bridgeport here, Bridgeport mill. We actually obtained from our high school we built a new high school, and so they sold all the old machinery. So I got a nice Bridgeport, and so I still get to do some machining. Not making rocket ships, but like all my fixture and jigs. It's nice to got my digital readout. You can just makes life a whole lot more simple than just using my jet one punch hole drill over there. And so yeah. All right. Well, hey, appreciate it everyone for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time. I'm going to see if I can turn this off there.